Hey guys, hope you had a great weekend. We are starting off the week with a lesson about powers of monomials. So, a power of monomial is whenever you raise a power to another power. So, in this problem, we are raising 12a to the ninth to the second power. But before I get started, I want to point something out to you. I think we've talked about it in class before, but it's been a while. Most of your IXLs on the very first question pulls up this option up here, learn with an example. So if you're struggling, even after watching this tutorial, you can click on learn with an example and it'll pop down an example and go through an explanation like what I'm about to do with you. So anyways, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. If you need some extra assistance, on the very first problem of your IXL, you can click Learn with an Example, and it'll give you some help. All right, back to this problem. So I need to raise each factor to the second power. So we're going to start with the 12. So I'm raising 12 to the second power. And then I have to raise a to the ninth to the second power. So 12 to the second power is 12 squared, 12 times 12, which would be 144. And then I have to multiply my exponents for this variable. So this would be a to the ninth to the second power. So I just multiply my two exponents, 9 times 2, and that would give me a to the 18. So my final answer would be 144. A to the 18th. All right, let's go to another example. All right, with this problem, we are doing the same thing. We're raising everything in the parentheses, each factor to the second power. So once again, let's start off with the coefficient 12. I am raising 12 to the second power. Then I have v to the 7th to the second power, w to the 5th to the second power, and then x to the 6th to the second power. So the biggest mistake I see is that a lot of times people forget to raise the coefficient to the second power. So don't forget about this very first number, that very first factor there. You have to raise everything in the parentheses to that second power. So 12 squared again is 144. Then I just need to multiply my exponents to get my variables. So let me change a different color. Let's start with the v's. I have v to the 7th to the second power. So this would become v to the 7 times 2, which would be to the 14th. And then I have w to the 5th to the second power. So I would multiply 5 times 2 to get 10. So this would become w to the 10th. And then the last one is x to the 6th to the second power. So I would multiply 6 times 2, which would give me 12. So my final answer would be 144, v to the 14th, w to the 10th, and x to the 12th. All right, let's look at the very last example. All right, here's your last example. This time I'm raising everything in the parentheses to the third power. So let's start with the 4. I would have 4 to the third power, then v to the 5th to the third power, w to the 5th to the third power, and then x to the 5th to the third power. That was very repetitive. All right, so let's start with the 4. 4 to the third power would be 4 times 4 times 4. So that would be 64. And then let's move on to the v. So v to the 5th to the third power. In order to evaluate this, I would need to, or to simplify this, I would need to multiply my exponents. So once again, I would have 5 times 3, which would be 15. And then moving on to the w, this would be w to the 5 times 3, so 15. And then the x, same thing, 5 times 3 would give me x to the 15th. So my final answer would be 64, v to the 15th, w to the 15th, and x to the 15th. All right, that's it for today. Hope you guys have a great day, and let me know if you need any help.